Welcome to my view from the piano bench. I feel like I can touch the phone, but we move the phone camera closer on Wednesday nights because it's not about me playing, it's about me saying whatever ridiculous things I say as opposed to whatever ridiculous things I play. Where am I more ridiculous? Who knows? Thank you to those of you who support and encourage me through the links you'll find on the support page of my website, and you'll see a link to that page in the video description below. The different options to drop in the tip jar, including the Patreon option, essentially sponsor these videos. So thank you to those of you who do that and those of you who would consider. So the topic today is part of what's going to be touched in this video, but the larger version or the larger story is that on occasion, lately it's been once a semester, it may not continue to be that frequent, but on occasion I get to go up to Eastern Nazarene College in Quincy, Massachusetts, and we set up a public concert while I'm there. But that's not the real reason that I go, or the primary reason that I go. I get to do the concert because I'm there, and it's a very small audience that comes, and often just students from the school or people around. I'm not established in that area, and it's nothing that's like promoted in, whatever newspapers or anything like that. I primarily go there to talk to the arts appreciation class, and the instructor brings in artists from different disciplines to introduce themselves, introduce their discipline and what they do to the class. And it's a general ed class, so like students kind of have to take it or take something like it. And I've known the professor, John Nielsen, for a very long time, and he likes what I do, and we kind of see eye to eye on a lot of things, and it's fun to go up there. So you'll see that on my public schedule, but it's really not a public event in its focus, and it's a very, very, very small crowd. We wound up doing it in the auditorium because other parts of the building were being used, and the auditorium was way too big for it. But you'll see that in the video. I'm qualifying this because what I've done, last time I did it, I actually just shared the video from the class. But this time, I'm taking out a piece of the concert itself. And I talk about some things, and it's kind of not unlike what I'll do for my view from the piano bench. And what I start with is the idea of theme and variation, but applied to improvisation. So I'll call it theme and improvisation, which you could just argue is what jazz is. In the beginning of the video, the segment that you're going to see, I reference Mozart's variations on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and then just play my own and make that theme an improvisation as opposed to theme and variation. Mozart did not refer to it as Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It had another title, which I was told translates to I'm telling you, Mom, but it's the same tune. Similar to Bob Black Sheep, right? And probably other children's tunes as well. I veer over after that to talking about verses in popular song. There's not too many verses I know, but it's fun to manipulate them. What I intended to do, and I think I pulled off over the course of the concert, maybe I forgot to do Gershwin, I don't know, but I had a list of things I wanted to cover, and one of them was touching, the big three of the Great American Songbook, which would be George Gershwin, Irving Berlin, and Cole Porter. And of course wait a minute, yeah, of course I did Gershwin. Now, I don't remember if I played Cole Porter, but anyway. Or as Jimmy Lawler would say, whenever that name came up, sitting back behind the drums in the Madeira band, I'll have a Cole Porter. Oh, shush. Right. But anyhow, I thought I'd share that with you, and sharing that with you helps me to do a video this week, because it is a challenge when I'm not home. And unless I capture something that's actually a performance, like sitting, I've tried recording in my car, I tried recording in a hotel room, and I've done a couple of those, but the sitting at the piano, being able to touch it, pause and regroup my brain and then talk some more and all of that, that's what really works for me. It'll never work for me driving in the car. You know, I just get all tangled up. You know, this artistic space if you have a relationship to it, is a place that you're inclined to live from and realize that that's where everything works the best. Or you could call it the intuitive space or whatever. So it's wonderful sitting at the piano, allowing me to reset it. I can do that in a hotel room with my keyboard, but I'm also conscious that, you know, I'm making noises that are heard outside the hotel room. So I'm very grateful and thankful that where I live, nobody hears me. I can make all the noise I want. And the rabbits and the deer and everybody else around me in the cornfield, they don't care. So I'll come back on the other side. I'm not sure this video is going to be a full hour long in total, but I hope that you enjoy that piece of the concert, and you know that what I have to say, because I did a bunch of talking in this segment, which is partly why I'm including it, that what I had to say is, you know, amusing, entertaining, helpful, or not entirely stupid. So thanks so much, and I will see you in a little bit. Yeah. So most of my training is actually classical training, and you know the reality of the music business today and popular music in general is that those years and those decades and those centuries of popular music and classical music being connected are gone. You know, the thing about the Great American Songbook era, up until, say, the end of the Big Band era, was it was informed by the same sensibilities that classical composers used. In fact, that was on purpose. You know, jazz is an amalgam of cultures, you know, and harmonically, you know, European traditions and such. So guys like me kind of go back into the classical literature, although I will never perform straight classical in public, because my brain doesn't work that way, which I've already kind of demonstrated. But there is a form in classical music that composers use called theme and variation, where, you know, you would play a theme, whatever, you know. Probably not that theme, you know. But and then do things like that, right? Variations. And when you study classical piano, you often come across or assign Mozart's 13 variations to what amounts to Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, although it's got some other title. And I used to play them, and I don't remember the variations, but of course I remember the tune. I think it stated this way. Sort of that. I was close. And I remember his first variation was something like. I'm setting it up just to say, let me take this little twinkle, twinkle, little star, or what the actual title translates to that Mozart used, I'm telling you, Mom, I think is what it was. And we'll do like theme of improvisation on Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star instead. This is leading toward what John wants me to do. So let's just see. And no, this was not part of my original script, what I planned to do. That's why I'm good I left it on. Yes. Because now I'm going to play it like Bob Al Black Sheep. Yeah, that's a variation. I'll wait. So, I mentioned this trifecta of Irving Berlin and Cole Porter and George Gershwin. All right? So, all those wonderful Great American Songbook tunes had what we call verses in front of them. And very few of them are so played or even remembered. There are a few musicians I know who are experts in the Great American Songbook and know all the verses to all the tunes. I know very few. Okay, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to play the verse of a Gershwin tune that I happen to know, and tell me if you know what the tune is when I play the verse. You might, because the verse is sometimes played. And I often make a big deal about songs from the past that have appeared in movies, which bring back the memory of that to people or introduce them to new people. And I don't watch many movies. As Cherie knows well, I don't have the attention span. But there are a few movies that I've watched over and over again. And not a whole lot of people have seen it that I brought up to. Mr. Holland's Opus. Yeah. Yes, okay. And a few people, yeah. That's a great feel-good movie, and it's about a crazy musician who did something normal with his life, unlike yours truly. But that tune was introduced in that movie, including the verse. So now I'm going to speak to the musicians in the room. So a bass player friend of mine told me something you could do with that verse. You could turn that verse into its own jazz tune. Now, a typical form of a song is what we call AABA. There's a theme, it repeats, then you have a contrasting thing, and then it ends again. Like the A section for someone to watch over me. Then it repeats again with different lyrics, and then it goes to the verse. The B section. Right? And then at the end, it comes back to a. And here's the little inside baseball. We'll call that B section sometimes the bridge of the song. So if you're watching musicians, especially like jazz musicians on stage, and somebody does this, points to the bridge of their nose, they're not scratching it. They're saying, go to the bridge, or go to the top, or take the tune out, or modulate with 3 flats. We have our own third bass coach kind of thing, but we allow everyone else to know our signals if we want them to be read. So that verse, someone to watch over me, has 2 A sections and a B, and then goes into the song. So it goes. That's 1A. Now goes to B. And then the song starts. So he said, well, what if you just put the A section back on the end, detach it from someone to watch over me, and make it its own jazz tune? And it's kind of fun to play on. And no longer it's, who knows what it's called. But like the word would say, doesn't matter, he's dead. Right. So, all right. So that makes me think of one of the Irving Berlin tunes I want. If you'll all recognize this one. This one was like covered in the 1980s by a funny pop guy who maybe had no other hit, but he had that. You know where I'm going already, John? what it's worth. All right, so here's one of the most famous Irving Berlin tunes. I'm going to play the verse first, and this tune is a little misplaced. You'll get that in a second. But I'm playing it just because I know the verse, and I want to see if you recognize the verse. The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA, but it's December the 24th, and I'm longing to be up north. Anyway, all right, fine. Since I played the Christmas song, I know what I have to do. But it's not even July. That's all right. And here I am again with minimal video editing skills, inclination, equipment, whatever. I think about that when I think about all the YouTube, creators that are out there and musicians doing stuff with video editing, and I'm just putting up my phone, and doing this really to just the small audience of people I know and people who are interested, and I appreciate your indulgence with all of it. Yeah, so I did forget to mention that I wound up in that segment ending with Vince Guaraldi, which almost always comes up in public concerts for me, because it's a touch point where people know, and there are absolute Guaraldi fans that come when I do that, and so I'm always going to do it. And that came off of me playing White Christmas. So the Guaraldi stuff is in many people's point of reference coming from first and foremost a Charlie Brown Christmas in 1965. I was 5 years old. I may have said that in the video. And that's a whole nother topic and how important all of that is. And then before that, the idea of verses. So did you catch the idea that my bass player friend Max Murray that's the beginning of the verse of someone to watch over me, right? And then it repeats. And then it goes to this next section where the lyrics are, I'd like to have my initials on his monogram, or see my initials or something. Tell me who is the shepherd for this lost lamb. Then it goes into the tune. So if you take the lyrics away, the connection to the lyrics of that verse, and you put another A at the end, then you get an AABA form, which is a song form. Something like that. Anyway, that was that. And there it is. I did get home kind of late last night. And this is actually the day. This is the Wednesday. I try to do this ahead of time. And so this was my, ability before I have to go out soon to put a video up. So I hope you like it. Thank you so much for being here, and I should be able to be totally together tomorrow for Piano for My Friends. Totally together? Me? Perish the thought. All right. I'll see you later. Thanks so much.